Ladies and gentlemen, gather around, because today's story makes the Kardashians look like a Sunday church choir and reality TV look like Sesame Street reruns. We're diving into a tale so petty, so savage, and so downright disrespectful that even Shakespeare couldn't have scripted it. You thought celebrity beefs ended at diss tracks and shady Instagram captions? Think again. Because 50 Cent just reminded the world that he's not only a rapper, not only a mogul, not only the king of trolling but also the undisputed heavyweight champion of Petty Olympics 2025. Yes, you heard that right. He didn't just throw shade, he bought the whole umbrella factory. 50 admitted he once purchased 10 entire rows of concert tickets just so no one would sit there. Empty chairs, ghost town vibes, pure humiliation served cold, like day-old pizza in the fridge. And his reaction? With the kind of smugness that could power the Vegas Strip, he shrugged and said, "They were cheap anyway. This isn't beef. This is a full-blown all-you-can-eat petty buffet. And guess what? You've just been seated at the front table. Buckle up because the drama only gets messier from here. So let's set the stage, because you can't appreciate the fireworks unless you know who lit the fuse." This wasn't just some random publicity stunt. This was 50 Cent versus Ja Rule, one of the most toxic, legendary, and unrelenting feuds in hip-hop history. Forget Batman vs. Joker. Forget Marvel vs. DC. This is the kind of beef that makes McDonald's and Burger King look like best friends holding hands at a family picnic. It all started way back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, or at least when Ja Rule thought he was the king of the charts. Early 2000s, Ja was everywhere. Radio, music videos, even movies. He had the raspy voice, the bandanas, the glossy R&B collabs that made middle school dances smell like Axe body spray and teenage heartbreak. But then, like a plot twist straight out of a telenovela, a new challenger entered the arena. 50 Cent. 50 wasn't here to play nice. He wasn't handing out friendship bracelets. He was kicking in the door, tossing the furniture, and flipping the table over like Teresa Giudice on Real Housewives. His debut Get Rich or Die Tryin' didn't just drop, it landed like a meteor wiping out the Yasaurus Rex, and ever since, oh baby, it's been war. Diss tracks sharper than samurai's swords. Street-level drama spilling into the tabloids. Lawsuits, interviews, shade-throwing so thick you'd need night vision goggles to see through it. If Petty was an Olympic sport, both men would have retired with gold medals, sponsorship deals, and Wheaties boxes with their faces on them. But nothing, and I mean nothing, comes close to 50's masterstroke, the ticket scheme. Let's pause to admire the sheer genius of this play. Most rappers beef with words. Maybe a subliminal Instagram story. Maybe a diss lyric that gets dissected by YouTube hip-hop heads for months. But 50 Cent? He thought, nah, I'm going to financially bankrupt this man's dignity. Here's what happened. Ja Rule announced a tour. A big comeback moment. His team hyped it up like Beyond dropping surprise albums at midnight. Posters went up. Tickets went on sale. The world yawned. But 50 saw opportunity. Instead of buying one seat, 2 seats, or even a VIP box, Curtis Jackson went full Wall Street wolf and bought 10 entire rows of tickets. That's not a flex. That's an economic declaration of war. Now, imagine Ja Rule on the big night. Lights down, music blasting, the crowd roaring, well, half the crowd. He walks out expecting to see diehard fans, cell phones glowing, arms waving. And what greets him instead? A vast desert of empty chairs. It looked less like a concert and more like a middle school assembly where everyone ditched. The humiliation was cinematic. You couldn't script it better if Quentin Tarantino and Jordan Peele teamed up. The camera pans across rows of empty seats. Ja Rule sweating bullets, and somewhere in the shadows, 50 Cent cackling like a Bond villain stroking a white cat. And then came the dagger. When asked about it, 50 didn't puff his chest, didn't brag, didn't make it sound like some financial burden. No, he hit the world with the most savage shrug in the history of shrugs. They were cheap anyway. Excuse me, cheap anyway? That's not just an insult. That's an obliteration of a man's entire career in 4 words. That's the equivalent of ordering lobster at a restaurant just to feed it to the dog in front of the chef. The internet lost its collective mind. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook memes shot out like confetti cannons. People photoshopped Ja Rule performing to SpongeBob's Imagination Rainbow. Others compared it to the Fire Festival 2.0. This time, the disaster was chairs instead of cheese sandwiches. And yeah, he did what most celebrities do when publicly humiliated. He tried to play it cool. But let's be honest, there's no spin strong enough to recover from looking like you just performed for Casper the Friendly Ghost and his extended family. Now here's where it gets even juicier. This stunt wasn't just a one-time prank. It cemented 50's reputation as the petty godfather. People already knew he was ruthless in business, savage in interviews, and lethal in lyrics. But buying out seats just to leave them empty, that was new. That was historic. That was petty going platinum. Industry insiders whispered about it like it was folklore. Did you hear what 50 did? Bro, he bought out 10 rows. It spread through the hip-hop world like wildfire. Artists, managers, promoters, they all knew the message. If you come at 50 Cent, you better come correct. Because this man doesn't fight with fists, he fights with bank statements. Fans loved it too. Half of them screamed, "Petty legend," while the other half said, "This is bullying on a billionaire scale." But nobody could deny it was hilarious. Even people who hadn't listened to rap since the MySpace era suddenly knew about the feud again. And here's the wildest part. It wasn't even about the money. 50 wasn't flexing because he could afford the seats. He was flexing because he could afford the silence. He weaponized absence. He turned nobody showing up into the loudest insult imaginable. Think about it. In entertainment, the worst thing isn't being booed. It's being ignored. And 50 didn't just ignore Ja Rule, he paid top dollar to make sure everyone else ignored him too. That's diabolical. That's Shakespearean villain energy with a hip-hop beat. So as the curtain fell on that infamous night, the world was left with one undeniable truth. 50 Cent didn't just win that round of the feud, he redefined the game. Diss tracks fade, interviews get forgotten, but empty chairs? Those pictures live forever. And if you thought that was the end, oh, my sweet summer child, you don't know 50 Cent. That was just the appetizer. The full petty feast, that was still being served. And everyone from fans to celebrities was lining up for seconds. The internet, my friends, is undefeated. Once those pictures of Ja Rule performing in front of what looked like a hostage negotiation meeting room hit the timeline, Twitter turned into the comedy Olympics. Memes flew faster than Elon Musk firing employees at 3 a.m. Somebody posted a shot of the empty rows with the caption, "Welcome to Ja Rule's exclusive meet and greet with loneliness." Another masterpiece slapped the "Where's Waldo" logo on it, except this time Waldo was the crowd, because there wasn't one. And then there was the classic SpongeBob meme. Ya's face photoshopped over the words, "I'm not even mad." This is amazing. The internet roasted him so hard. His career smelled like overcooked barbecue left out in the rain, but the memes were just the appetizer. The real carnage came when other celebrities started chiming in. Picture it. Twitter fingers on deck, Hollywood elites sipping wine and watching Ja Rule's career evaporate in real time. Rappers laughed, comedians pounced, and even random B-list reality stars tried to score clout off the fallout. 50 Cent, of course, doubled down. He reposted memes, added captions like, "Front row vibes look crazy," and even joked about using the empty seats for storage. The man wasn't just throwing shade. He built an entire eclipse. He turned humiliation into a brand deal. And Ja Rule, oh, he tried. Lord, he tried. He went live, shouting, ranting, flexing his legendary status like someone showing off expired coupons at Walmart. He barked, "Y'all still talking about me after 20 years? That's power." But come on, power? This wasn't power. This was a desperate attempt to duct tape a sinking ship. Watching Ja respond was like watching someone argue with a GPS. Loud, pointless, and destined for the wrong turn anyway. The press jumped in too. TMZ, Complex, Hot 97, they all piled on with headlines like, 50 Cent turns Ja Rule concert into empty arena spectacle and petty level infinity. One outlet even compared it to a Black Mirror episode where humiliation is the new currency. Reporters weren't covering music anymore, they were covering comedy. And here's where the twist comes in. Fans started buying tickets to not show up just to join the humiliation movement. People who didn't even know Ja Rule was touring suddenly spent money just to ensure he'd perform for tumbleweeds. It became a culture-wide inside joke, a group project in pettiness. The hashtag empty seats challenge trended for days. Some fans even posted pictures of their unused tickets with captions like, supporting the cause. The snowball effect was insane. Radio DJs clowned Ja Rule daily, comedians built entire sets around him, and every late-night talk show host used his name like seasoning in monologues. Trevor Noah joked that Ya's concerts looked like the safest place in America during a pandemic. Jimmy Kimmel said Ya's stage had more room than Elon Musk's Mars colony. It was everywhere. But here's the kicker. Ja Rule wasn't just fighting memes, he was fighting history. People brought up Fyre Festival again, the infamous disaster that turned him into the poster child for failure. The combination of fire plus empty rows made him look like the human embodiment of do not trust this ad. Fans joked that Ya could sell out only one thing, disappointment. Meanwhile, 50 Cent wasn't done. He took interviews, smirking like the cat who not only ate the canary but billed the canary for rent. He said, "Look, it wasn't even expensive. I just thought it'd be funny." That's the kind of line that burns worse than hot sauce in your eye. He didn't even admit it was personal. He framed it like a casual Tuesday hobby, the way you or I might binge Netflix. Imagine getting roasted so badly that your enemy acts like destroying you was a side quest in a video game. The public loved every second. For a moment, it wasn't just 50 vs. Yeah, it was the entire internet watching a gladiator match where one guy brought a sword and the other brought a kazoo. The humiliation became pop culture currency. Even people who hadn't listened to rap in a decade knew the story. And if you think it stopped there, think again. Fans started editing Wikipedia pages, listing Ja Rule's concerts under famous ghost towns. TikTok creators reenacted his empty shows with cardboard cutouts. Even high school bands roasted him by setting up chairs on football fields and captioning it, "Live from Ja Rule's World Tour." This wasn't just beef anymore. This was humiliation turned into folklore. A meme that will outlive careers, albums, maybe even the rappers themselves. Because while albums get dusty and tours end, the internet? Oh no, the internet never forgets. And in the middle of it all, 50 Cent was sitting back, sipping champagne, scrolling through memes like they were family photos. He didn't just win the feud, he turned Ja Rule into an eternal punchline. When the dust settled and the laughter died down, the damage was permanent. Ja Rule wasn't just roasted for one night, he became a walking cautionary tale. Every time he tried to make a comeback, the ghosts of those empty chairs floated right back onto the stage. It didn't matter if he dropped new music, starred in a commercial, or posted a TikTok, the comments section would remind him, "Remember when 50 bought your whole front row?" It was career quicksand. The harder he struggled, the deeper he sank. Even when Ya tried pivoting into nostalgia tours with other 2000 Seconds acts, fans joked, "At least Ashanti will have someone in the crowd." It was brutal. Memes don't retire. They metastasize. They become part of your legacy. And for Ja Rule, that legacy was rapper most likely to perform for ghosts. Meanwhile, 50 Cent strutted away like he'd just invented trolling. Every interview, every podcast, every social media appearance, he wore the victory like a diamond chain. He didn't just defeat Ja Rule, he branded him. In the hip-hop Hall of Beef, this wasn't just another diss, it was a scorched earth campaign. 50 Cent turned humiliation into an art form, like Banksy with a black card, and the industry noticed. Rappers who once took shots at 50 suddenly thought twice. Who once smoked with a man willing to financially nuke your concert just for laughs? It wasn't just about music anymore. 50 proved he could attack from angles nobody else even considered. Diss tracks. Too easy. Social media spats. Child's play. He weaponized capitalism. He trolled with Wall Street precision. The cultural ripple was massive. Other celebrities started adopting the playbook. You saw comedians mocking rivals not with words, but with actions. Athletes bought billboards trolling opponents. Even politicians started using the 50 method. Throw shade so creative it makes headlines, not just noise. 50 Cent didn't just win a feud, he redefined how to clown someone in the 21st century. But let's not forget the human cost. Ja Rule wasn't just losing fans, he was losing credibility. And in music, credibility is oxygen. Without it, you suffocate. Imagine trying to promote a new album, but every press conference turns into reporters asking about the empty rows. Imagine dropping a heartfelt single about struggle and pain, only to have the YouTube comments filled with cheer emoji. It became inescapable. Ja Rule couldn't out-rap it, out-sing it, or out-market it. The humiliation had seeped into pop culture so deeply that even casual fans who couldn't name 3 Ja Rule songs knew one fact: 50 Cent bought out his concert. That's legacy-killing stuff. And the irony? 50 didn't even spend that much. By his own admission, the tickets were cheap anyway. This wasn't $1 million master plan. This was pocket change for him, a casual expense that turned into $1 billion meme. The imbalance was savage. It was like watching someone bring a water pistol to a gunfight, only to find out the opponent showed up with a nuke for fun. The public perception was set in stone. Ja Rule wasn't just a rapper anymore, he was a punchline. A meme fossilized into internet history. And 50 Cent? He wasn't just a rapper, producer, or mogul. He was crowned the king of petty. The man who made humiliation into performance art. Fans didn't just respect him, they feared him. But here's the kicker. While Ja's reputation sank, 50's reputation expanded. His trolling became legendary. He parlayed the beef into TV shows, brand deals, and even memes that promoted his other ventures. Every time people brought up the concert stunt, it was free advertising for 50. He managed to turn pettiness into profit, something most rappers only dream of, and the echoes still rumble years later. Anytime another artist tries to stage a comeback, people whisper, "At least 50 didn't buy your tickets." Anytime there's a hip-hop feud, fans compare it. Cool diss. But it's no empty seat massacre. The standard was set, the bar raised, and 50's play forever carved into pop culture. The aftermath wasn't just Ja Rule licking his wounds, it was a whole industry recalibrating. Everyone now knew 50 Cent doesn't just play chess. He flips the board, burns the pieces, and charges you for the smoke. And Ja Rule, well, he tried to keep going. He leaned into nostalgia, clung to old hits, even tried flipping the joke back on 50 a few times. But it never landed. Once you're branded the loser of history's pettiest battle, it sticks. It's like trying to rebrand after becoming the face of Fire Festival. Oh wait, he was that too. Double whammy. So in the end, the consequences were clear. Ja's legacy, empty chairs and cheese sandwiches. 50's legacy, king troll, mogul, and undefeated master of humiliation. The public didn't just watch the beef. They archived it, memed it, and tattooed it into internet history. And somewhere out there, a dusty arena still remembers the night. It became more famous for its empty seats than the men standing on stage. And there you have it, folks, the saga of 50 Cent's legendary petty play. The night 10 rows of chairs got more fame than Ja Rule's entire setlist. A troll so vicious, so surgical, so chef's kiss perfect, that textbooks in the future will probably teach this as how to humiliate 101. Now let me ask you something. If you laughed, gasped, or nearly choked on your popcorn during this story, what are you even doing with your life? If you haven't smashed that like button yet, smash it like 50 smashed his ticket sales. Slam it like you're buying out the front row just to leave it emptier than Kanye's PR team after a tweet storm. And don't just hit like. Drop a comment too. Tell me, was this the single greatest act of celebrity pettiness in history? Or do you think there's a hidden gem out there even messier? I read every comment like it's classified FBI intel. And trust me, y'all are way funnier than half of Hollywood. Oh, and subscribe because let's be real. Scandals don't sleep. Petty doesn't take vacations. The next jaw-dropping, meme-worthy, career-ending celebrity disaster is already brewing. And you do not want to be the last one to hear about it. This channel is like TMZ on steroids, with extra sarcasm and zero filters. So hit that bell like it owes you money, because the next time a celebrity ego combusts, you'll want front row seats. And don't worry, I promise not to buy them out and leave you sitting in the parking lot. Until then, remember, legends make hits, but icons make empty seats go viral.